When are you going to decide on whether you want to have my parents moving in or not? I have been waiting for a week now, and there still has not been an answer from you.
You want to talk about that again? I've already told you that I don't want to live with them, so that's it, Chris.
The only person that's against this is you, Alice. Just hurry up and make your choice. Right now, my mom is very excited to move in with us, so don't keep her waiting.
I'm sure all she wants is someone to take care of her and do all the chores, right?
Are you making fun of my mom or something?
Well, up until now, every time we've gone over to your parents' house, your mom has made me do all of the chores. And then she takes you with her, and you all get to have fun without me.
Well, that's because your job as my wife is to get all the housework done for everyone. Stop complaining about it already.
And what about those times she'll purposefully throw food on the floor and tell me to go clean it up?
She tells you every time that those are accidents, okay? She has made it very clear that she has slippery hands, and that's why she drops that food. Do you still not believe her?
You're telling me that every single time I'm there, she has slippery hands like that? Of course I don't believe what she's saying, Chris. Also, I've heard about what your mom has said about me and about how she only wanted me marrying you in order to become her bedside nurse in the future. I don't want that for myself, all right? Have her hire someone to come and take care of her instead of using me as free labor.
So that's your only excuses for not wanting to live with my parents?
My only excuses? What? Why do you not care at all about how I'm feeling right now? Is this because you have someone else besides me or something?
Who are you even talking about?
I asked you this one time before. Who is that girl you seem so close to and are always walking with? We have things we still need to figure out between ourselves as husband and wife, so we do not have the ability to live with your parents now.
I told you that's one of the new hires at the company. When we are coming home from the bar, we are both drunk as hell. And that's why you see her and I all over one another. How many more times do I have to explain that to you? Would you stop being such a dramatic witch? Jesus. Stop thinking about a world where I'm the bad guy and make your decision. Yo, reply to me right now.
What, Chris? You haven't even said anything to me yet. What do you want?
I want you to listen and be shocked by this. We've decided that my parents and us will be living together. There's better not be any complaints from you after this.
What? What do you mean we are living together?
You are so thick-headed. I'm saying that I've made the choice for you since you never gave an answer. I've already sent my mom and dad's things to the house for them. They might already be arriving there as we speak.
Is that right? Well, luckily that's all happened just as I've moved out of there.
What? You moved out?
Yep, I sent all my things to my parents' house already, and they said they just got them right as I walked through their front door.
So you're not even at the house anymore? I never heard anything about this.
That's because I never said anything about it to you. Chris, you left the house the moment you woke up to go and see your parents, so I never had any time to tell you to your face. That's right.
So you're telling me you never got any of my mom or dad's things today? What the hell are you doing? What is this about you moving out of our house even? I want you to tell me what's going on here right now. Stop trying to derail this conversation and move on to the next thing.
You're the one freaking out right now and jumping all over the place. You were just telling me about how you didn't listen to my answer and forced your way into getting your parents into the house, right? You can't say anything to me. I knew something like that would be happening soon, and that's why I moved out today and back to my parents' house. Recently, you've been on the phone with the moving company, and I started to get worried about what would happen next. So I made the right choice by getting out of there now.
Unbelievable. Do you even consider yourself my wife? I'm going to tell my parents about this.
Alice, it's been a while. Candice, I haven't seen you in so long. You told me a while back that you were busy. Are things all better now? Things are a lot better now. I'm not as tied up with everything anymore. So what's been going on with you today? Why are you texting me right now? Well, the last time you and I had a chance to meet, you were talking to me about how things with my brother and Mom were pretty tough on you, right? It's been some time since then, but I wanted to check up on you and see if everything's okay now. Oh, thank you for worrying about me. That was very kind of you to think of me today. I have to say that you coming to me was some pretty good timing because just today, Chris tried to force your parents onto me. He even went and sent all their things to our house without telling me. What? You have to be lying about that, right? How could he do something like that? Alice, are you okay right now? I'm fine. I knew something bad was going to be happening with us soon, so I made sure to get things shipped off to my parents' house today, and I moved back in with them now. I don't have to worry about that drama anymore now. I feel like I just made it out of there just in time to save myself. Very true. I'm so sorry about my family causing you even more trouble. You don't have to apologize for them, Candice. You've been out of your parents' house for a long time now and barely even talked with any of them since then, right? You have nothing to do with what decisions they've made this time. And the fact that you're checking up on me now after so long, thank you so much. But Alice, back when I first heard about my brother getting married to someone, I was so worried about the woman he was with because I knew my parents would take advantage of her. I should have warned you about all that sooner. And from the look of things, my brother doesn't seem to care about you at all. Moving my parents into your house like that without getting your permission as well? It was going to happen eventually, Candice, but I was lucky enough to take care of myself there and made it out alive. Well, if you have anything else you're worried or troubled by, don't be afraid to reach out to me. I will do whatever I can to help you out.
Have you fixed that poor attitude of yours? I hope you're not acting like a selfish brat anymore, and will come back here right now. My mom and dad are waiting patiently for you. How much longer are you going to keep us all waiting?
Selfish brat? I didn't go back home to my parents' house just because I'm selfish. All of you never listened to the answer I gave you and made the choice to move your mom and dad in anyway.
From the start, I'd have been talking about having my parents come live with us. This was all being talked about way before yesterday and today. So what the hell, Alice?
And that whole time I had been saying no to having your parents move in with us.
Do you really hate my mom that much? Even though she's been treating you with so much kindness?
So much kindness? Stop joking already and get real, Chris. To me, everything she was doing was abusive. Day after day, asking me to go to her house and clean for her, and then forcing me to make her dinner. And anytime she would make dinner, she'd feed me only the leftovers or burnt scraps. Then, when I'd go home at night all worn out and wanting to relax, she'd call me again asking me to go back over to her house. And when I'd say no to that, she'd come over to our house uninvited and start forcing me to do more chores there. No matter how many times I asked her to give me the duplicate key to the house back, she would just whine and moan before running off. I was never able to get a break in that house with all of you, so don't you frickin' dare say she was treating me with so much kindness.
My mom was doing all of that for your sake.
Bullcrap, she only cares about you. That's why, for whatever reason, you keep a blind eye to all the hate that she keeps on feeding me. This is the reason why Candice ran away from you all, right? Because your mom only cared about you and would make her do all the work around the house while you were spoiled to death.
That's... all you do is complain. Your job as my wife is to do everything my mom tells you.
Well, if you're going to keep on bringing that up, then what about you? Do you think you're accomplishing your job as a husband? All you've done for me is side with your parents on everything and have not ever cared about what I say or think.
Of course I side with them. Because you were once a complete stranger to me before. My mom and dad have always been my family, unlike you. It's common sense for me to side with the people I've always known.
Alright then, Chris, I see. So I'm not your family then. Sounds great. Glad to see we've both settled all of this then. I'm out of here. But before I'm totally gone, I'll do what I can to make sure this crap never happens to me again.
I'm not sure what you plan on doing, but it better be something involving you getting your butt back home. Are you serious right now? I I could see that your parents' house is up for sale right now. Did you guys forget to pay the bills or something? That must mean you have nowhere else to live now, right? Now you'll have to come back to your husband and beg all of us for forgiveness. Ah, and make sure to not bring your parents along with you. This house isn't big enough for those two animals.
What's this? Did you come around my parents' house or something?
I did. I may be busy right now, but I decided to come pay my selfish woman a visit. I'm so kind thinking about you when I have far more important things to be doing, right? Although, you have kept me waiting for months now. So this is what's happened over these last couple of months? Hilarious. You've lost your house. Where are you right now? On the road trying to find a place to sleep now?
I would never live a life like that. We're having that house sold because we don't need it anymore.
Huh? What do you mean you don't need it anymore?
There's a new house I'm moving into. Actually, it's a penthouse, but we bought the place, so it's all ours.
A penthouse? Stop lying.
If only this were a lie. Right now, you happen to be in front of that old house, right? Then you must have seen where we're living now on your way over there. It's that new skyscraper that's just next to the main station. The one that's all modern with a somewhat medieval accent to it.
What? That massive building? You're kidding, right? You bought that place without ever telling me about it?
That's right. There are no plans in my future of ever going back to you, so I decided to leave you out of this.
Did you buy that penthouse with your own money then?
With the money I had saved up before we got married, and also with some money from my father. I didn't take any money out of our shared bank account, so calm down.
I'm not worried. And the name on that place is yours, right? If that's the case, then I can bring my parents along with me and move in there.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Since you're my wife, that means anything you own is also mine. Kick your parents out of there right now, and then let my family in there. Tell us your room number right now.
Are you being serious right now? I would like you to sleep if you're so tired that you start to speak nonsense to me. I'm not telling you anything more about this place. And I'm not even giving you guys the code to get into the building.
Shut up and listen to me, Alice. Give me your room number and the code right now.
Not going to happen.
Alice, are you sure you want to do this? I happen to know a very good lawyer who can help me out with this. If you tell me right now, then I'll forgive you for abandoning me for so long. Now, tell us the room number. Yo! Candice, long time no see. I hear you've become a lawyer now, right? It's been years now since we last talked, since you never replied back to me after leaving the house. But we're still close to one another, right?
Huh? Why are you wanting to talk now?
Come on now, sis. Don't be so cold. I happen to have a favor to ask of you, now that you've become a lawyer and everything. You and I are family, so you'll do this for me without charging me, right?
That's where I thought this was going. It didn't take too long for you to tell me the truth there. I know that you want to work with me because of the lawyer I've become and all, since that's how you've always been. Using me like I'm some kind of tool to you until things are all better and you just throw me away.
Yo, what the hell is wrong with you? Is that the right way to be talking to your older brother?
You're nothing like an older brother to me anymore.
Well, who cares? I'll forgive you this time for acting that way, since I'm such a kind brother and all. You've met with my wife Alice once before, haven't you? Right now, Alice isn't living in the same house as me. She's moved into a new place that she bought without ever telling me a thing. It's a freaking penthouse in this new skyscraper as well. That witch. She bought the place while we've been married, so that makes the place mine as well, right? I want you, as the lawyer you are, to go to her right now and tell her that I legally have the right to be there. Then I'll be able to move into that new penthouse with both mom and dad.
What kind of BS is this? From what Alice has told me, she bought the place using both her dad's money and money she saved up before marrying you. That means the place isn't technically yours, and you have no right to it.
What? Why do you know about what Alice has done, and about how she paid for it with her dad's money?
Because I've been meeting with her occasionally, and she spoke with me about buying the penthouse and everything as well before she went through with it. She wanted a new place to live with her parents, but was afraid of you taking it from her. So she came to me seeking guidance. But since she's paid for the place with both her dad's money and with money she had before marrying you, there's nothing you can do to have a right to it. I made sure she was aware of that, which seemed to make her very happy.
You? Who the hell's side are you on? Why aren't you trying to help your family out and are helping her instead? Who are the ones that raised you into the woman you are now? That was both mom and dad, you idiot. It's because of those two that you're a lawyer, and you should be thankful for that. You are so freaking ungrateful.
You really think something like that to be true? There's a small bit of truth to that, and I will say that I'm thankful for the very small amount of food Mom prepared for me, but that's about all I need to be thankful for. Because both Mom and Dad only cared about spoiling you and making sure you were never unhappy. I was put on the sidelines, having to fend for myself. Then you began to act like them too, and for years and years would pick on me and make me feel like I was unwanted there. When I was studying, you all would tell me women didn't need school, and at times would burn my books and everything else I needed for school because I was just supposed to cook and clean for the rest of my life. That's why, in the end, I had to make the only choice that would save myself, and that was leaving all of you and running away. Luckily, when it came to college, I was able to get a small scholarship and work a few part-time jobs to pay off the rest of tuition. And after some long years of having to work practically full-time studying, I became a lawyer. I didn't think for a second that this outcome was thanks to any of you. I never will.
Talk about the past all you want, but I don't remember a thing. Just put all that crap behind you and listen to what I need from you.
Were you listening? Or have you suffered that much brain damage that you forgot things that only just happened to you? No matter what you try and say to me, I'm not listening to it. Oh, and another thing. There should be an envelope making its way to your house soon.
An envelope?
The one who was paying the rent for that house you're still living in was Alice, right? It's been a few months now since she left that house, but you, Mom, and Dad still continue to live there, right?
What?
Alice told me that she's going to end the lease here soon. That envelope might have something to do with that.
Huh? But we are still living here.
You guys still living there doesn't mean anything to Alice, though. You were the one that moved Mom and Dad in there without ever getting her permission. So there shouldn't be a problem with her ending the lease on that place without your permission, right?
Are you saying that you don't care about what's going to happen to us?
I'm sure you all can just go back to that old and run-down house again, right? That's all you guys have to do, so stop trying to act like you're going to die because of this.
That house has been torn down now.
Is that right? Well, sucks to suck then. Are we done here now? You guys have to get ready to move out of there soon, so you don't have time to still be talking to me. So I recommend you get to it.
First her, and now you? Alice, it looks like you went and ended the lease without ever asking me first.
Ah, so now you guys are aware of that too then? Well, that's the truth. I'm not living there anymore, so why should I keep renting it? I've paid for the last month already, so you have 1 month to move out of there. If you don't leave by the end of the month, then the landlord's going to be a little upset. By the way, you were talking about how you know this really good lawyer before. Were you talking about Candice or something? Did you try talking to her already? Even after all the things you did to her in the past?
Shut the hell up already. I don't need to ask her for help anyway, because there are other lawyers I can get to help me. I might even take you with me to court and have the judge deal with your butt.
Go ahead and try to make some case out of this, but I doubt any lawyer is going to take your side.
Crap. Why are you doing things like this? Do you not love me anymore or something? Just deal with having my parents around and come back here this instant.
Pfft. I love it when you play stupid like that. You make it sound so realistic half the time, talking like you don't understand any English. I mean, could you really be telling me that you still don't understand why I don't want to live with them? That would be insane if this was truly you turning a blind eye to all of that still. I mean, I was going through all that hell right in front of your eyes, so there's no way you didn't see that, right? Coming home from having to work late only to be immediately woken up by her to start cleaning and cooking even though it's the middle of the night? I'm practically suffering from insomnia now because I was never allowed to sleep. Do you remember that time I passed out? I was lacking so much sleep that at one moment everything went dark and I collapsed. When I went to the doctors for that, the doctor told me I needed sleep and food badly. But none of you ever explained that the reason for me being in that state was because of your mom. It's not like any of you would say anything about me anyway, because the whole dang time it's all about your mom. Do you even love me anymore, Chris? Have you ever loved me? If you really ever once considered me as part of your family, you would have never let me go through all of that hell.
Honestly, you are so damn annoying, woman. Make your decision already. Either you allow my parents and I to move into your penthouse, or you tell the landlord to forget about ending the lease and let us live here forever while paying the rent. And I expect you to pay that rent until we are all dead.
I'm not choosing either of those options.
Huh?
If you're about to lose your house, then why not move in with your girlfriend? Tell her you're bringing the parents along as well.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm not stupid, Chris. I never have been. So would you stop trying to fool me like that? You've been going out with that new hire at your work that you always told me was just a new hire, right? And even after I've left you all months ago, you and her have only become closer, right? Luckily, I had Candice help me out with all of this, and we now have loads of evidence. She's a very good lawyer, after all, so after we are done writing up some reports about you cheating on me, we'll get to the divorce forms.
Divorce forms? What the hell is all of this about now?
The only one who seems to still not get what's going on here is you, Chris. Ever since I left that house, I've been preparing for this with the help of my parents, Candice, and some other friends. Pretty soon here, Candice will be paying you all a visit, and you'll be signing those forms for me, okay? And if you refuse, then the next time we meet will be in the courtroom. Only that time, I won't be nice to you at all.
You're taking things this far? What's gotten it into you? We have been so caring towards you, Alice.
Can you explain to me what exactly you're talking about? Ever since our wedding, there's been no love from your family, and at this point, love has become so non-existent that it might even be in the negatives now. Ah, and another thing. I made sure to send an envelope to your mom as well with evidence of you cheating this whole time.
You sent that to my mom? No!
I don't think it matters how much she spoils you. When she sees you in pictures sleeping with another girl, I don't think she'll look at you the same. She did say that one time we had dinner together that the things she hates most in life are those who cheat.
Alice, please tell my mom not to open that envelope and to just toss it.
It's already arrived, and I'm sure she's looking at it right now. You might want to ask her about it now. Good luck, Chris.
Wait a second, Alice.
From now on, I'd like you to talk with Candice if you have anything to say to me. With that, goodbye forever, you jerk. Alice, I have some news. It took a lot more time than I was expecting, but that guy finally signed the papers. The divorce has been finalized. Congratulations. Thank you so much for telling me, Candice. This was the final push for us then, right? That's right, and I'm glad you're free of them now, too. It felt so wonderful fighting against those that had ruined my childhood, and I hope we will never have to deal with them much more again. The only thing I'm a bit sad about now is that you're no longer my sister-in-law, so I'll never really see you again. What are you talking about? To me, you're like my real little sister, and I want you around me forever. Let's go out to eat again sometime, okay? Are you sure? Oh my God, thank you so much, Alice. I've gone and cut ties to all of them as well now, so they'll never know about us being around one another still. We're like two survivors who were able to escape from that abusive family. I'm so glad it's all pretty much over for us. We can finally take a moment to breathe. I feel the same way. After freeing myself from those animals, I feel as though I can become myself again. I'm really looking forward to getting back to working full-time again and living a life that will no longer include them. I'm sure that feels amazing. You're no longer going to have your life sucked away from you by those leeches and will be able to do whatever you want. Let's both work together and become amazing people. Let's do it. We can talk more about all of this really soon. We can have a party commemorating the day I divorced that asshole. Hell yeah. After that, having lost their only place to live, Chris and his parents had to move into a very old-looking apartment where there wasn't even any heating. Chris was also forced to pay a settlement fee to me because of his cheating, which didn't seem to sit well with him because he started to whine even more to Candice about her taking my side. This wouldn't faze Candice, though, and after a few back and forths, she told him to either pay it to me soon or she'd have to go in front of a judge and face even more penalties. That ended up shutting him up, and within a week I had that settlement arriving in my bank account and never had to think about Chris again. After learning about how he had been cheating on me, Chris's mom forced him to break things off with that new hire. She was not finished with Chris, though, and started to think that he broke up with her because he had another woman. So at work, she started to make claims about how Chris was a sex offender and had assaulted her as well. Chris is now having to go to HR every day as an investigation has been started on him inside the company, which may lead to him being fired. This has also led to some very toxic situations back home for him, where neither his mother or father will talk to him. These are all things Candice was told in a letter from her mother, and which she later told to me. Now, with how things have turned out for me, right now I'm living a life without a single person getting in my way anymore, and have become even closer to my parents. Work is going really well for me, and I'm able to go out most weeknights and weekends to see friends I haven't been around in ages. Recently, I was asked by a younger guy at work if I wanted to go out to lunch with him someday, and I think I might just take him up on that offer. I hope things between him and I start off with a bang and we can become more than just coworkers.
Natalie! Happy birthday to you! Have you gotten the divorce papers that I've sent you as your birthday present?
So you didn't get around to reserving a restaurant for me or anything on my special day? I left work early today to come spend my birthday with you going out to eat.
Is that so? Well, that's too bad for you. I'm sorry, but I've never actually planned on reserving a restaurant for us to go have dinner at. I've chosen that the best present to give you this year is the present of divorce.
Is that right? Is that all because you found yourself another woman?
You got that right. Unlike you, she's a young and dazzling woman whom I'm happy to call my future wife. Starting the moment you and I hand in those papers and get our divorce, I'm going to have a whole new life happening around me. And it'll be way better than the one I'm living now.
Does this also mean that you've been cheating on me with her?
Well, I suppose you could say that. And so what? If you'd like to get a settlement fee or something, then go right ahead and do so. I'll pay whatever price you ask of me, as long as I get to be with my new woman.
So you just think that being open about something like cheating is going to make everything A-okay for you? Well, since you're pretty much done with me, you're never coming back to this house, right?
That's right. I'm never going back there. You and I are over with, and I no longer want anything to do with you. I think you're best off getting on one of those dating apps after today, and try your luck at finding a new man that'll love you as well. But let's be real here. There are no men that would be willing to make you their partner, with how awful you look now after aging.
You must think you're on top of the world just because you were able to reel a younger woman into your life?
If you want, I can show you some pictures of what she looks like. I'll send them to you right now, actually. Her name is Faye.
She is a good-looking young woman, isn't she, Ken? But tell me, why would someone as good-looking as her be willing to choose you to be her husband?
The reason for that is because I'm an elite employee, working in one of the largest companies in America. You and I never had any kids either, so that means my pockets are loaded in her eyes. To a young and beautiful-looking woman, A man with a really good job who's in his 40s is one heck of a steal.
You are far too old to be saying things like that about yourself now, so please stop.
I'm being serious about this. Even Faye herself told me that she's in love with me because of my career and money. Now, starting the moment you hand in those divorce papers, I'm going to be living a very happy and exciting new life. Goodbye forever, Natalie. And make sure that you never try and contact me again, please.
Hey, Natalie, are you doing all right? Are you sure you're not too sad about everything? After something like that, you are more than welcome to come and stay at my house. I'm totally fine, Christy. Thank you for listening to me as I talked earlier. That really helped me get a lot off my chest about how I'm feeling, and I'm a lot happier because of it. But like I was telling you before, I feel refreshed after being left behind by a man like him. I actually knew for a little while that he was testing the waters with me by going out with other women. And I was right when I figured he must have been planning to leave me for a younger girl. Things happened a lot faster than I expected them to. However, having this happen has made me understand my situation a whole lot easier. You really are handling this like an adult. If I were in your shoes, I would never let Ken see the light of day after doing something as selfish as that. So, does this mean that you're going to move on with life and start fresh? I think so. It feels like I've had this huge weight lifted off of me, and I'm able to move on my feet more lightly now. But I did say that I'm still going to get a settlement from him, so it's not all over just yet. For some reason, I feel like men of his status are becoming more and more common. What do you mean, men of his status? Well, a few months ago, a colleague of mine at work happened to have the same thing happen with their husband. He went after a younger woman and left her. Huh? Is that so? Yeah. She was a complete mess after finding out about it because she never thought her husband would do that to her. But listen, a little while after she found out about this, she learned a very crazy thing. She heard that the younger woman that had been going out with her husband ended up having a scam marriage with him. A scam marriage? That's right. Her plan was to find older men with lots of money and use her beauty to get him to fall for her, all so that she could take what money she could from him and then leave. My colleague's husband was hurt after what the young woman did to him and tried going back to my colleague. But she wasn't going to have any of him and kicked him off her property for good. She really made him feel like a pile of crap in the end, huh? Whatever happened to that younger woman he'd married? Well, the police have still not been able to find her. But listen, about a month or so ago, there was a woman just like her walking around near my house. I only recognized her because my colleague showed me a picture from before. I think she's been on the prowl for another man in this area now. What? You happen to know what that younger woman's face looks like? I do. Her face was on the news as well after that last scam she pulled with my colleague's husband. I happen to have a picture of her on my phone, so I'll send it to you now. This is the face of that younger woman. Yep. She really is one hell of a good-looking girl, right? I think she's got the perfect kind of face that would get any middle-aged man to throw their wife away for her. I get it now. It all makes sense. What are you talking about? Do you happen to know her from somewhere? This woman. She's the one that Ken had been showing me pictures of before he left me. What? Are you for real? And wait, you happen to know the face of the woman your husband's been cheating on you with? Well, he was telling me she was young and very good looking. And after that, he sent me a picture of her to kind of brag some more about her. I have to say, there is no doubt here. The woman that scammed your colleague's ex happens to be the same woman that's with Ken now. That idiot, what the hell has he gotten himself into this time? So that's why she's been around town this past month then. And you're totally right about Ken. He's 110% an idiot. So what are you going to do about it, Natalie? What do you mean, what am I going to do about it? Well, you happen to know now that your ex-husband is going to be marrying someone who's about to scam him for all his money, right? Well, there's always the option to give him a call right now and tell him that he's being played right now. You think I have any reason to be that kind to him? I was the one he threw away in favor of her, right? And, well, I want him to experience what it's like to be thrown away by someone you love himself. Perfect. I was thinking the same thing. I'm really looking forward to learning about what happens after their marriage. When something crazy happens, tell me all about it right away, okay? Sure thing. I'll let you know. Again, thank you so much for letting me talk with you today and telling me all this great news about his new younger woman. Hey, you and I are completely divorced now, right? So then why are you continuing to send me pictures of you and that woman still?
Well, I just thought it was the perfect time for me to send you all of the wonderful pictures Faye and I have taken on our little love excursion. I mean, look at her! She's a total beaut. I mean, she could kill it in the modeling business, right? Had you been a little bit more like her, I might have given my marriage to you a couple of more years there.
You really love to talk that mouth off of yours, huh? So tell me, what does she think of you after you left me?
She's telling me that she loves me every single day, which is way more than you ever said that to me. And she's really been wanting for the two of us to get married already. She said that she'd be in charge of planning out the wedding and everything for me, as long as I gave her the money for it, so I've gone ahead and done just that for her. I'm really looking forward to the kind of wedding she has made for us.
Wow. So you're already giving her loads of money then? What else is going on with you two? Have you been buying her lots of gifts and things like that now as well?
Well, of course I have. Just like I'd done for you when we were younger. Although, I'd probably already given her more presents now than I ever gave to you our whole time together. She always gets so happy and loving during those times, and that in return makes me feel great. Compared to that, you'd always just put on a fake smile and said thank you to me.
Well, that's because every time you'd get me something, you'd have some kind of complaint about me to say along with it. Telling me I'm starting to look older or that my cooking is getting worse. I was just tired of all that crap from you, and you giving me a little gift to make up for it was not enough.
I was in the same boat as you then at that point. I would always have to come home from a long day at work to see an old hag working in the house. Really made me feel like I was married to the complete wrong person.
You and I happen to be the same age, though, Ken, so you have no right calling me an old hag. By the way, what about your job?
I quit now. I'm not coming back to that town anymore, as I've run off with Faye. She and I are going to find a new town that's much more fun and exciting for us. And that's where I'll find myself a new job.
Is that so? So you've gone all out now with starting that new life of yours?
Well, I have no plans of returning back to the life I had there, so there's no need for me to hold back. You're more than welcome to throw all my things that I left there anyway. I'm not coming back for them. They're no good to me anymore either. They've been in the same house as a 40-year-old hag, so I don't even want to see them. Being able to get married to a much younger and far better looking woman than you is really going to take my life to the next level.
When you say next level, do you mean going up or going down? I'm sorry, I can't stop myself from laughing right now.
Huh?
I can't do this anymore. I was able to hold this laughter back for a while when talking to you, but I just can't do it anymore. Ken, do you really believe that Faye Chick is in love with you and really wants to be your wife?
Of course I believe all of that. She's even gone and said she loves me herself. Are you starting to get jealous over her? Hey, come on now. Don't get too upset over this.
You're the only one who's going to be upset by all of this. Are you not finding all of this way too good to be true for yourself? How long have you even known that young girl?
It's been a little over a month now. What does that have to do with anything, though?
No matter how you try and look at that, there is something going on behind the scenes with that woman. Why would some perfect-looking young woman like her choose to be with an ugly and aging old man like you?
To her, my age and looks have no relation to the love she has for me. Have you seriously not noticed that yet? Age is just a number to most people.
Jeez. You are that far lost in what lies she's been telling you? I sort of feel bad for you. It's like she's going to be stealing candy from a baby here soon. All right then. Well, you can go right ahead and continue having the best life you've ever dreamed of with her. I hope you're really looking forward to that wedding.
I'm going to enjoy this life with her, and I'll make sure that it'll never end, just to spite you. See ya, you jealous hag. Stop talking to me for the rest of time, all right?
I really hope you can manage to keep that happiness lasting forever. But we'll just have to see.
Come help me!
Well, here you are already. I thought you told me just yesterday to never talk to you again, right? Did Faye do something really crazy to you that's got you coming to me for help now with your tail tucked?
That witch! She was hiding her true intentions from me this whole time! She and I went and stayed at a hotel together for the night, and when I woke up, both my wallet and car were gone! She stole them both from me and ran away!
Oh, you poor, poor thing. This must have been her goal this whole time with you then, right?
Yeah. When I found my phone, I looked at it to see a message from her saying she'd leave it with me as the only thing she wouldn't take. She'd been planning to do this to me the whole time! Dang it! She played me like a dang fiddle!
So, why are you wanting me to help you out now?
I want you to lend me some of your money. I don't have any money on me right now, and Faye has my wallet with her. If I can't get any money, how am I going to pay for this hotel room? I have until 10 a.m., and on my way out, I have to pay for the room. I just need you to send me a couple hundred to my account for the room, and I'll be able to manage after that.
But you said you don't have any of your cards on you, right? They were in your wallet.
That's right. Well, I still have my phone, so could you Venmo me some money? And I might be able to pay with the card I have downloaded on my phone.
Let's start with this. Why do you think someone like me has to be the one to help you get out of your bad situation?
Huh?
You think I'm going to want to help you after the way you threw me aside on my birthday of all days? You have to get a grip on reality and see that I don't want to help you anymore.
You hold it right there. You don't feel bad for me in any way? Don't you still have feelings for me? I get that we got a divorce just a few days ago, but you and I have been married for 10 years, right?
You were the one that lost feelings for me first, right? So when I found that out, I thought to hell with my feelings for you and threw them all in the dumpster, where they belong.
No, there's no way you're already over me. I know better than anyone that you're one of the kindest people in the world. I get that you're trying to act all tough right now, but in the end, you're going to help me out, right?
I'm really not sure where you're getting that impression of me from. But look, I've known for a couple of days now that Faye chick is the kind of woman who is only into you for your money, and her way of getting to it is by committing marriage fraud and scamming you.
What?
Recently, there was another victim to her crimes, all right? My friend Christy was very nice and told me all about Faye and her ties to one of her colleagues' ex-husbands. She even showed me a picture of Faye afterwards so that I could verify that you were in fact with the same young woman as the previous man. And after verifying that, my feelings about the situation really changed.
Why didn't you tell me about her sooner, so that I could have avoided all of this?
The reason for that is because I'm not as kind as you led yourself to think I am. I really was looking forward to seeing the outcome of what kind of fool she'd be able to play you as in the aftermath of her game. I mean, you threw me away without a care in the world for my feelings, so what makes you think I wouldn't want to do the same for you?
You're awful! This makes you like her accomplice or something now! And you're telling me that Christy knew about all of this going on as well?
Yep, she knew before either of us. Well, about Faye and all she'd done at least. And I think by this point most of the people in town know about Faye because she appeared on the news after her first stunt.
Yeah! This is all getting way too out of hand! Well, for the time being, I need you to send me some money right now so that I can get out of this hotel!
If you'd really like for me to help you, then perhaps you can start off by saying you're sorry to me.
I'm sorry. I really do feel bad about everything I'd done to you before. I just happened to be a little tempted by Faye is all, and I acted on those temptations. Now you can forgive me, please.
No thanks.
Hey, Christy! You go and talk with Natalie right now for me and set her straight. And if you can you please lend me some money for this hotel? Please?
Huh? What are you going on about right now?
I know you happen to know everything about what's been going on with me, right? Please! You're the only person that I can ask for help now! You and I have known each other for a long time now, so please help me, right?
Could you please refrain from trying to get me all wrapped up in your problems? And to be fair, this is what you deserve after what you did to Natalie. So you figure out how to help yourself on your own.
So you really want me to go and tell Natalie about the relationship you and I have had? If you do not help me get out of this, then I'm going to go and tell Natalie everything about you and me. I'm not messing around anymore. I will seriously do it. I have nothing to lose now, but you might.
What kind of past are you even talking about right now that you and I had?
I'm talking about how before I married Natalie, you and I had been going out with one another. If I tell her about that, she's going to be shocked. She might not even let you be her friend anymore after that.
Huh? Give me a break, Ken. Her and I had talked about that whole story a long time ago.
What?
It's not like you were dating me while you were together with her, right? The only thing that's happened is Natalie marrying my ex-boyfriend, and she sees it that way as well. There was never an overlap in the time you were dating me and when she started dating you. So why are you bringing that all up now like it's going to make any difference?
You've already talked with her about it then? She never told me about how you guys talked about that.
It's not like she meant to hide that from you. I mean, there was no reason for me to try and hide that little fling we had back then because it has nothing to do with her other than be a topic of light conversation. So you can go ahead and tell her, but she's not going to give a crap about it. Natalie already knows everything about what you and I did, and she doesn't care.
What? Well, then I'm gonna lie about it and say that we were having an affair while she was with me. No matter how much she believes of that, she's still going to be shocked in some way and will most likely begin to doubt you.
Really? She's going to know you're on your last leg and are just trying to spread bullcrap. You really are such a toxic little man. You used to be so much better when you were younger. What happened?
Shut up! I want you to keep your mouth shut and let me lie to her about how you and I had a thing going on while I was with Natalie. Now, are you going to help me or are you going to make me lie to her?
Go ahead and lie to her. I don't care.
Are you sure about that? You and Natalie are best friends. Are you really going to risk losing her after not helping me?
That's right. Her and I are best friends, and that's why the both of us trust one another 100%. She has no reason to believe your bullcrap, unlike how you believed in Faye's.
Well, we'll have to see about that then. I think you're thinking too highly of your guys' friendship. Things like that are only one small lie from falling apart into rubble.
And that's because all of the friends you've ever had have been a bunch of selfish losers like yourself, who never really cared about one another.
You have no place talking to me about my friendships like that! So you're really not going to help me out this time by lending me some money?
You can go ahead and tell Natalie anything you'd like. Even about this lie of us having an affair.
I see. Then I'm gonna go tell her. You better be ready for what's gonna happen to you next. Hey, because things have turned out so poorly for all of us, I'm going to let you in on a very important secret. Christy and I, we had an affair back when you and I were together.
Oh? Is that so?
Yep. I'm sure you're going to start questioning that witch now, huh? I told her that if she had helped me, I wouldn't ever tell you this secret. But she never did help. I guess this is it for both of yours friendship.
I see. So you're on your last leg now. Well, Ken, remember that Christy and I are best friends. You understand that, right?
Huh? I know that the two of you are best friends. I'm sure you're shocked now after learning that your best friend has stabbed you in the back.
I don't believe a word you've said. I know what this is all about. You and her had dated one another before you started to go out with me. And, well, now that Christy has said she's not going to help you after you pleaded and pleaded, you thought you'd lie to me about that as a way of getting me angry with her, right?
No, I would never. I'm telling you the truth. She and I had an affair while I was with you. Seriously?
I knew it. You are the worst at lying about things you know, Ken. How many more times are you going to tell me you're serious or that it's the truth?
I'm not lying! All of this is very, very true! Huh?
Is that right? Well, if that's how much you believe what you're telling me is true, then I guess I'll have to get a settlement from you for that case as well.
That was... well...
Well, you are so set on getting me to believe that you had an affair with Christy, right? Well, if that's the case, then I guess I'm going to get money from you for that as well. And you did tell me during the divorce that you'd pay me whatever I asked for in a settlement, right?
well...
You're going to follow through with all you told me before, right? You're in your 40s now and are an adult. As an adult, we all have to follow through in the promises we make, right?
Hey, maybe you can stop all that. I get it. I made another mistake. Leave me alone now. I never had an affair with Christy while together with you. That was all just a lie to try and get you to fight her.
You really are such a waste of life. Seeing someone like you waste your life away like that, when someone far more deserving of it might be dying right now, is depressing for me. Well, I'm just glad you're telling me in the end that you'd been lying. But here's the thing. I don't believe you were lying. I think you did cheat on me with Christy, and I'm going to have you pay for that too now.
Ah!
Well, come on now. You might want to say that was a lie now, but you tried so hard to get me to believe you cheated on me with her that I'm now hooked. And it's not like you've never cheated on me before, as you were just doing it a few days before my birthday, so you're going to pay for all of that.
But I told you that I lost everything. All my money to that Faye witch. I have no way to pay you anything now.
I don't give a crap. And make sure you don't come back to this house, okay? I followed through with that promise and have started to throw out all your things.
Hey, if you do all that to me, then how am I going to be able to live life?
Right? I'm wondering the same thing now. How the hell are you going to make it out of this alive? Guess we'll have to see.
Please, please just forgive me. Just let me be back together with you, please.
Hey, I'm sorry, but that's going to be a no from me. You think I'd ever want to be together with some ugly-looking 40-year-old man? After that, it took a few days, but Ken was able to manage finding his way back to my house. But I'd gone and changed the locks on all the doors and changed the name on the house to mine. And so after realizing that, I kicked him off my property. Ken began to cry like a big baby as he sat at the gate to my house banging on it, and since it started to become such a huge problem for the people in the neighboring houses having to listen to him, I called the police. They came and picked him up and took him from my house to the nearest police station. And a few days after that happened, I had a lawyer go meet him at the jail cell he was being held in, and help him find a way to get the money I was asking for into my account. After that was all said and done, and the money was now safely in my bank account, I sold the house and moved into a nice apartment. Ken was later let out of the jail cell, but having lost his house, his money, his car, and everyone's trust, he went on another crazy mission to try and find me. But after weeks of never being able to find me and living on the streets, he finally gave up and went back to his hometown. I really wonder what kind of life he's living there now and how he's feeling deep down. A little while later, after Ken left town, I heard on the news that Faye was finally caught by the police and taken away to prison. I guess after finding all of this out, you could call this a very happy ending to the story. I've been living on my own now and have no intentions of finding another man to take Ken's place, as I've put most of my time into work. And Christy has moved back home to her parents' house to help them out as they grow older, solving the problem of all their loneliness. She really is my best friend, and I'm glad that the two of us were able to work together to rid this town of a man like Ken.